The first time I heard the scream, I thought it was an animal. But animals don't beg. Please, my child. That voice, it still follows me. I shouldn't have been there that night. I was just a palace guard, 23 years old, new to the king's inner circle. I thought I had made it in life. Good pay, respect, a chance to serve the throne. I didn't know the throne was built on something else, something darker. That night, the prince summoned me quietly. No drums, no guards, just a whisper. "Come alone," he said. Prince Adewale was not like his father. Everyone knew that. While the king was feared, the prince was watched. People said he asked too many questions, that he stayed awake at night when others slept. I found him behind the palace walls, near the old forest path no one used anymore. "You trust me?" he asked. I hesitated. That was my first mistake. "I serve the throne, my prince." He looked at me like I had said something foolish. That's not what I asked. The air was cold, too cold for that season. "Yes," I said finally. "I trust you." He nodded, then turned. "Then follow me, and whatever you see, don't run." We walked into the forest. No torches, no moon. Only the deeper we went, the quieter everything became. No insects, no wind, just silence. Then I heard it again, the same voice, crying, begging. My chest tightened. "My prince, what is that?" He didn't answer. We reached the clearing, and that's when I saw them. Women, 5 of them, bound, their mouths tied with cloth, their eyes wide with terror. One of them looked straight at me. She was pregnant, heavily. Her eyes, I will never forget them. They weren't just scared, they were asking me something. "Help me." I froze. "What is this?" I whispered. Prince Adewale's voice shook. The truth. Then the drums started. Slow, heavy, like a heartbeat. From the shadows, men appeared, not guards, not soldiers, elders, chiefs, faces I recognized from the king's council. And then, the king. My king. He stepped into the clearing, wearing white, but it didn't look pure. It looked stained by something I couldn't see, but I could feel. "This is madness," I said under my breath. The prince grabbed my arm hard. "Watch," he said. "You must understand." The king raised his hand. The drum stopped. He spoke loudly, proudly. "For the strength of the throne, for the protection of our land." My stomach turned. One of the women broke free just enough to scream through the cloth, a muffled cry that cut through everything. And that's when I understood. This wasn't a ritual for blessings. This was something else, something no one was supposed to see. I stepped back. No, this can't be." The prince leaned closer to me. "He has done this for years, every season, every time his power begins to weaken." My heart started racing. "You're lying." I wish I was. The king turned toward the women. He pointed. "Bring the chosen one." 2 men stepped forward. They grabbed the pregnant woman who had been staring at me. She struggled, weak but fighting. My legs moved before my mind could stop them. "Stop!" I shouted. Everything froze. Every eye turned to me. I felt it instantly. I had just made the worst mistake of my life. The king's face hardened. "Who speaks?" No one answered. I could feel the prince's grip tightening. "Don't," he whispered. "Not yet." But it was too late. The woman was still looking at me, begging, and I couldn't stand there. "I said stop!" I shouted again, louder this time. The clearing erupted. Men rushed toward me. I was tackled to the ground before I could even reach her. The king walked slowly toward me. "You dare interrupt a sacred rite?" I struggled, but they held me down. "This is not sacred," I yelled. "This is evil." Gasps spread through the crowd. No one had ever spoken to the king like that. Not and lived. He crouched in front of me. "Evil," he repeated softly. "You think you understand what keeps this kingdom alive?" I spat death. "I understand that you are killing your own people." Silence. Heavy, deadly silence. Then the prince stepped forward. Enough! All heads turned again. Even the king looked surprised. Adewale, he said slowly, this does not concern you. It does, the prince said, because I am next in line and I will not inherit a throne built on blood. The tension snapped. You could feel it. This was no longer a secret. This was war. And right here, I need you to do something for me, because stories like this don't get told enough. If you're feeling this, if your heart is racing like mine was that night, hit the like button, drop a comment, and share this story, because silence is how things like this survive. Back in that clearing, everything changed. The king stood up slowly. You should not have brought him here, he said to the prince. I needed a witness, Adewale replied. The king laughed. Cold, empty. A witness, he repeated. To what? To the burden of leadership? He turned to the crowd. You all know what must be done. You have all benefited from it. And that's when I saw it. The elders, the chiefs, they weren't shocked. They weren't confused. They were calm. They knew. They had always known. My stomach dropped. This whole time, I whispered. The prince nodded. They protect him. They protect this. I felt something inside me break. The kingdom I swore to serve was built on lies. The king raised his hand again. Seize them both. Chaos exploded. Guards rushed in, but this time, not all of them moved the same way. Some hesitated. Some stepped back. Some stood with us. I managed to break free from the men holding me. I grabbed the falling spear and run, I shouted to the prince. But he didn't move. Instead, he walked toward the woman, the pregnant one. The king's voice thundered. Adewale, stop! The prince knelt beside her. He untied the cloth from her mouth. She gasped for air. Please, she cried. I'm sorry, he said. I didn't know how to stop it before. Then he stood and faced his father. This ends tonight. The king's face twisted with rage. You would destroy everything for a moment of weakness? No, the prince said. I would destroy everything built on this. The king raised his hand again. But this time, something unexpected happened. One of the elders stepped forward, then another and another. They began to kneel, not to the king, to the prince. Murmurs spread through the clearing. The power was shifting right in front of my eyes. The king looked around stunned. You betray me? No, one elder said. We correct a mistake. The king's voice dropped. You think the spirits will protect you without sacrifice? The prince answered calmly. If they demand this, then they are not worth serving. That hit harder than anything else. Even the drums stopped completely. The silence that followed felt different, lighter, like something heavy had finally cracked. The king stepped back. For the first time, he looked afraid. And then he ran. Just like that, the most feared man in the land fled into the forest. No one followed him. No one needed to, because his power was gone. The women were freed. Some cried, some couldn't even stand. The pregnant woman, she held my hand. You saw me, she said. I nodded, unable to speak. You didn't look away. That stayed with me, because that was the difference. Everyone else had looked away. For years, for generations. The prince turned to me. You chose to speak, he said. I almost didn't, I admitted. But you did. Weeks passed. The kingdom changed. Not easily, not quickly, but it changed. The rituals stopped. The secrets came out. People were angry, hurt, confused, but they were finally awake. And the prince? He became king. Not because he wanted power, but because he refused to hide the truth. As for me, I'm still a guard, but I'm not the same man, because now I know something most people don't want to accept. Evil doesn't always hide. Sometimes it stands in the open and everyone pretends not to see it, until someone does. So if this story moved you, don't just scroll past like it never happened. Hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because I promise you, there are more stories like this. Stories that need to be told. Stories that refuse to stay buried. Because the moment we stop looking away, That's when everything begins to change.